My first internship was with architect Tushar Desai.
Okay.
And I remember I used to get paid 850 rupees as my salary.
That was your first
That
paycheck.
was my first paycheck.
Okay.
I had a lot of angst when I started working. I realized design is the domain of only the rich. People only with a lot of money could talk about design, could go out, buy good-looking things. And I believe design should be the birthright of everybody.
And I'm a huge fan of the late, great actor Irfan Khan.
Yes.
How was the experience working with him?
It was very different. I think he was a very different kind of a soul. Like a true artist. I think a lot of the times in the meetings he was in his own zone. And his briefs to us used to be ki, Shabnam, I want to be able to, I play so many roles in my work that when I come home and I sit, I want to be able to cut off from the city around me. Kangana is such a strong personality. We all know she speaks her mind. And I think it was, after that entire investigation, they could find nothing. So it was actually just sad that it happened. And the house, the office, entire facade was damaged. No Indian homegrown brand which truly represents India has been able to make it to the world stage. I hope through Peacock Life, we can become that brand that represents India on the world stage.
नमस्कार, आदाब, सत श्री अकाल, केम छो? मैं करण मेहता आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं टॉस्टेम प्रेजेंट्स लेजेंड्स ऑफ डिजाइन सीजन 2 में। लेजेंड्स ऑफ डिजाइन एक ऐसा शो है जो हमारे देश के दिग्गज डिजाइनर्स की जिंदगी को सेलिब्रेट करता है। दोस्तों, आज के हमारे जो गेस्ट हैं, इन्होंने डिजाइन इंडस्ट्री के सारे पुराने नोशंस को तोड़ के रख दिया। एक फिल्मी परिवार के होने के बावजूद भी उन्होंने इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग जैसे अनकन्वेंशनल प्रोफेशन को चुना और अपने काम और मेहनत के बलबूते पर लोगों के मन में कभी ना मिटने वाली एक छाप छोड़ दी। जानना चाहते हो मैं किसकी बात कर रहा हूं? तो आइए देखते हैं उनकी एक छोटी सी झलक।
Design is such an equalizer. Design judges no one. Once a design lover forever. Design is not about creating good-looking spaces. A good design is about how a space makes you feel. Design is an emotion. I'm Shabnam Gupta, Principal Designer at the Orange Lane and founder of the brand Peacock Life.
So ladies and gentlemen, may I now call upon the living legend, designer Shabnam Gupta. Shabnam ma'am, first of all, thank you for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me on this show, Karan.
It's a pleasure to have you, ma'am.
I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. Ma'am, we have this amazing bunch of children over here who are from architecture and design colleges. And I'm sure they are going to go back with some fantastic memories today. So ma'am, let's begin the conversation.
Sure.
Ma'am, we would all love to know, how were you as a child?
I was a very rebellious child.
Okay.
I was a complete tomboy in that sense. I actually grew up in a large joint family, a Punjabi joint family. So we were many cousins. So it was actually a riot growing up. It was just beautiful.
Okay. Ma'am, you come from such a strong legacy of filmmakers. Your grandfather produced the great Ramayana. You never thought of a career in films?
No, films never interested me.
Okay.
Of course, we grew up in that sense on, film sets and shootings and stuff. But I think for me, it was never even a thought that I enjoyed that. It was not something I ever wanted to pursue.
Okay. Okay. So how did interior design happen?
Interior design happened by accident.
Okay.
I don't think I chose design. I was never a very ambitious child, or I was never somebody who was very clear about what I wanted to do. I think my dad was very wary of, me not getting serious about anything in life as such, and said I should get into home science after my 12th while pursuing my BCom. And I came home and I said, there is no way in hell that I'm going to be doing home science. And I was just fortunate that I got into design college.
Okay.
It was literally by chance.
Okay.
And I always say design chose me.
Okay. So how were the initial years in your practice? Did you start on your own or you worked under someone?
So actually, before my practice, I worked with my dad.
Okay.
After my 10th, when I was in junior college, I remember college in our days was not like universities.
Okay.
It was sitting in the canteen and doing nothing. And I remember that my dad said, why don't you just come and, start interning with me?
Okay.
And I think at the age of 16, started working at his studio.
Okay.
He used to handle international marketing for Ramayana.
Okay.
And Ramayana, of course, was and still is, it holds the record for the most watched serial ever in every country, even more than Game of Thrones, with the second release also.
Okay.
And dad used to have, somebody coming in from Warner Brothers, somebody coming in from Hollywood, and I was in charge of taking them around.
Okay.
They wanted to see what India was.
Okay.
So very fortunately for me, at a very young age, I used to take them to cottage industries and contemporary arts and crafts. So I started getting exposure to culture very early on.
Okay.
And with people who were of a certain stature. So I was very fortunate that I think that was my first entry into creative thinking.
So after the internship, what was your next destination?
After the internship is when, I finished my 12th, and then dad said, why don't you do home science and maybe you will kind of figure out what you want to take up. And of course, that's how I landed in design college. Oh. My first internship was with architect Tushar Desai.
Okay.
And I remember I used to get paid 850 rupees as my salary.
That was your first paycheck?
That was my first paycheck.
Okay.
With dad, I never got paid. With dad, I was made to sit with the runner boys. Okay. Because he said, you're not the boss's daughter. You better work your way up. Okay. So, of course, I had the perks of taking these people out to all the fancy places. But in the studio, I was just one of the, of the team members. Okay. But with Tushar Desai, that was my first pay slip. Okay. And I remember at that time, it used to not even cover rickshaw fare. Okay. So I used to have to walk to work if I really wanted to save money. Okay. But it was a great experience. Okay. Yeah.
So when did Orange Lane start?
I actually worked with Tushar Desai. I realized I don't know anything. I worked with him for maybe a year and a half. Then I worked with BG Bhatt for another year or so. And my practice never started till nearly 5-6 years of trying out a couple of things. Okay. After my internships, I was lucky that I got to do one project, which was for my cousin brother. He was doing up his room and he wanted to pursue filmmaking. Of course, we were cousins. So I said, of course, I'll do it up. And I've studied design kind of a thing. And it turned out really lovely. Okay. So that was my first project as such at that level. And Mr. Vidhu Chopra came and saw that place because he is also part of the family. And, he said, why don't you do up my office? Of course, I hardly had any experience at that time. So I was lucky that, it started just, let's try your hand out. But my first really big project, which I would consider as my first entry, was a friend who stayed in London.
Okay.
Her parents stayed in London and they had this beautiful apartment in Jew Scheme. And they said, will you do it up for us? And I said, yes, of course, I'd love to. And that was the first time where I actually traveled to Pondicherry, realized what a world it is out there, picked up antique pillars. And because they were very well traveled internationally, they wanted their home to reflect their roots in India. And I think that's how my journey really began.
Okay. So, Shabnam ma'am, you never thought of designing film sets? Because you were from that background and it would have given you a liberty to experience interior designing, continue with that profession?
The film world is a very different world.
Okay.
And I think by then I had gotten married, and I've grown up on sets. I've seen erratic work hours. I've seen at that time it was not a great place even for women to a certain extent. And I knew as a set designer, you're basically creating gorgeous stuff, and then it's getting knocked down once that shoot is over. So it was just something that never enamored me. Having said that, I watch movies to see film sets. I mean, for me, like to learn from it, it's something which I just love. So I'm seeing the real movie, but I'm actually looking at everything in the background. But no, I don't think it was ever for me.
Shabnam ma'am, after those 2-3 initial projects that you did in your career, what were your next few key milestones in the career?
Something which I think of with very fond memories is when the late Mr. Irfan Khan approached us to do their home out of the blue, out of nowhere. And I remember Life of Pi had just released before that. And I had loved it. And I loved him as an actor. He really was a master of his craft. So I remember when Shutapa called us and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be lovely. So, and he was a lovely person to work with. So I think that kind of came on the AD cover, and then it came on AD Paris, and then it was on House, and it kind of really broke the internet to a certain extent. I remember getting a lot of messages from international publications, etc. So that was our first brush with something that really made us feel very proud.
Ma'am, in an industry where networking is often seen, as a key to reach out to people, you never believe in this.
Yes, I'm a very private person. I've been very conflicted earlier on because I used to be told that, you need to network, you need to put yourself out there. How are you going to get projects? And I, in any case, like my own space. I like people, I love people, I'm good with people, but I can't do small talk. I can't go out there and sell myself and pitch and do all of that. I need genuine relationships. And I think for me, luckily, it just worked because I attracted the right kind of clientele.
Yes. So, ma'am, how did Peacock Life come into being?
Peacock Life was born because I had a lot of angst when I started working. I realized design is the domain of only the rich. People only with a lot of money could talk about design, could go out, buy good-looking things. And I believe design should be the birthright of everybody. Creative living is a pleasure everyone should enjoy. And in 2009, 2010, we founded Peacock Life. There was only Chor Bazaar, or then there were some of these really high-end stores. There was nothing in the middle. And that's the reason I started Peacock Life.
Shabnam ma'am, how is it like designing homes for celebrities? Because they are public figures. Is there any extra pressure when you make homes for them? Because at the end, it's going to go public.
Karan, we worked with so many celebrities that we realized if I'm real, and if I'm talking to the real person and not that film star, they live lives where they're constantly under the spotlight. But they've got a very real side to them. And I think when you touch upon that and they realize that you're also a very authentic person, there is no pressure because they are just being themselves. I am an interior designer who's trying to create a home that's an extension of their personality. And then they open up. And we've had lovely projects and lovely design experiences with all of them.
So, and as creative people, we often have a strong vision, but clients come with their own, choices and visions as well. Is there ever a conflict between the interior designer and the client? How do you handle those conflicts?
In my entire career, I think I have politely dropped out of only 2 projects.
Okay.
Because I felt that we are going to be making a home that's not going to be aligned.
Okay.
I think our studio attracts people who have seen our work, who love our work, who relate to it.
Okay.
And when someone walks in and I think ki this is not really aligned, I'd rather say, I think we're the wrong people.
Okay. Okay.
Makes life easy.
Absolutely. $1 million question: timelines and deadlines. Most of the times they are not achieved. So, what's your take on that?
We've become very well behaved.
Okay.
I think earlier on, maybe the practice was not as disciplined.
Okay.
Over the years, we are very clear. We don't get pressurized. We tell the client, it is going to take this much time. We try to help. We try to do a lot of things off-site, on-site, etc. But what is realistic is realistic. And we are actually one of the studios, once we commit, we do it.
Okay.
So I'm very proud of that fact.
Ma'am, I remember when we were speaking for this show, you had mentioned that once you got married, you thought your career would have got, stuck or gotten over. So how did you continue with that?
I actually I went through this entire phase where I used to feel that my career is done. And
Okay.
I used to tell my husband that, I'm going to have kids. How am I going to keep up? I had a lovely client. He was actually one of my first clients outside of anyone I knew, like a real client.
Okay.
And I was very young. I was 26. I remember, he was a partner at Crawford and Bailey, the law firm, UK. His house was opposite the Oval Maidan, and it was my first project. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to put everything in this. I went to him and I said, I'm sorry, Mr. Talwar, I think I will not be able to continue on this project. He said, what happened? I said, I've just found out I'm pregnant. And he just looked at me. And when you're a partner and you're so senior, he says, it's not a disease. Go back and finish your work. And that actually just changed my perspective.
Okay.
Because I said, what am I frazzled about? And I worked through both my kids. I was back at work within a week of both my kids. And I've really never stopped.
Great.
So I've had lovely people I've interacted with for this.
Ma'am, I also come from a theatre background. And I'm a huge fan of the late, great actor Irfan Khan.
Yes.
How was the experience working with him?
It was very different. I think he was a very different kind of a soul. Like a true artist. I think a lot of the times in the meetings, he was in his own zone. And his briefs to us used to be ki, Shabnam, I want to be able to, I play so many roles in my work that when I come home and I sit, I want to be able to cut off from the city around me. And that was very difficult because he lived in the heart of buildings around where he stayed. And I remember we actually shaved off 5 feet or 6 feet of the entire periphery to grow layers of landscape at different heights. So when you actually sat in his living room, it felt like you're sitting somewhere outdoor. I remember another brief where he said, he wanted this water body in his living room. And when we handed over, he came and, of course, he loved the house, etc. And then he sat down and after 10 minutes, he says, and it was a very soft slithering of water. And he says, this sound is too much for me. And I was like, you can barely hear it. He's saying it can be deafening. I can go mad with it. So you please make it absolutely. So he was such a fine-tuned artist. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Ma'am, you also designed a lot of offices and homes for Kangana Ranaut.
Yes, we've done 3-4 projects.
Yes. And unfortunately, during COVID times, one of the projects was taken down.
Yes.
How do you feel? And I think it was in the first year of the inauguration of the office.
It was not even the first year.
Okay.
It was a couple of months.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how do you feel when, because you must have put your heart, soul, sweat, time, and it's just boom, one day gone. How did you go through it? What was your reaction?
I'm not someone who delves too much at what's happened, but it was a pity because it was just political. So it was really sad because Kangana is such a strong personality. We all know she speaks her mind. And I think it was, after that entire investigation, they could find nothing. So it was actually just sad that it happened. And the house, the office, entire facade was damaged. It was quite a pity.
Okay. Ma'am, you just spoke 2 minutes back that design should be the right of every citizen. So through Peacock Life, what's your intention and what kind of products do you have?
When I started, we started with a very eclectic bunch of furniture pieces and unique pieces. And I think over the years, I've evolved as a person, I've evolved as a designer. My acceptance of who I am has matured. And I think now that reflects, and I think Peacock Life now has truly come of age because the maximalism shows, the Indian craft and unique pieces from different parts shows. My finesse of my design studio shows in our furniture.
Okay.
So I think it's now really, I can say that now I know what Peacock Life is all about.
Okay. Shabnam ma'am, beyond the titles, beyond the applause, who is Shabnam Gupta at her core?
A very real person, very grounded, thanks to, I think, my husband and my mom and my kids. Someone who actually lives in design, in everything, in what I wear, in how I live, and someone who thinks life is really beautiful.
Okay, great. Ma'am, we got an opportunity to meet a few people who really know you really well. Let's have a look what they have to talk about you. Can we have the AV, please?
Hey guys, my name is Aishwarya Shankar and I'm a team lead here at the Orange Lane. I've been working here for the past 2.9 years, almost 3 years, I would say. I would complete 3 years in August. And it's been a fantabulous experience here. So the first time I met her, like when I entered the office, it was like a great, like a wow feeling because it was just like this burst of color, moodiness and everything just kind of combined together. And my first time with her was honestly a little bit intimidating, but at the same time, I was very excited because I've heard like a lot of great things about her, like about how a powerhouse she is. And to finally get to meet her in person and actually start to work with her so close by, such close in the close capacity was like really like wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. I wish all the best for Shabnam and the Orange Lane and the Peacock Life. And I hope they grow leaps and bounds, not that they haven't already. And I hope that they continue to keep growing the way they're growing right now. And much love and much hugs and kisses to her and the team.
Hi guys, this is Payal Cheda here. So I've been working with Shabnam since a decade now. And I'm an associate designer here for the Orange Lane. Meeting her was like a child, like a dream, honestly. So she comes up with that energy of, giving you that comfort. So, and she was for young designers, I mean to say, even she is right now. For young designers, she's an inspiration. So to meet her was a dream come true. And since then, I think I'm just living in my own dream. Working with her it's a very different experience. So I remember like when I came here, I was like a raw stone. Like she have polished me since a decade, and what I see myself where I was and now what I am, I think that reflection says a lot for me. So working with her is a very great experience.
Hi, my name is Ganga Kadakya, the founder member of the Art Village Karjat. I'm also a painter and also the younger sister of interior designer and architect Shabnam Gupta. So our childhood was actually, I think, one of the best childhoods any child could ever ask for. We grew up in a huge joint family with almost, I think we were 30 people living in a bungalow called Sagar Villa in Juhu. And there was complete freedom in every sense. There were story sittings, there were shooting days, there were days when music used to take place in the house. There were, different personalities from different walks of life that came home, whether they were actors or script writers or musicians or politicians. And the environment was always very charged, very positive, and extremely creative. We were never really restricted to anything, or we were always able to express ourselves the way we wanted to. We wrote poetry, we did drama as children, we did scouting, we went for a lot of outdoor expeditions, treks and hiking and swimming in rivers with those big truck tires. And I think it was a really wild childhood.
माझे नाव सकू. मी बरेच वर्ष झाले, 6-7 वर्ष झाली शबनमकडे काम करते. तिथून मी झाडू मारायचो, बाहेरचं रूम क्लिनिंग करायचो. नंतर मला किचनमध्ये घेतली. नंतर किचनचं खाना पिना सब बनवतं, रोटी विटी हे सब. मॅडम चांगल्या होत्या पहिल्या. आमच्या पोऱ्याच्या लग्नाला पैसे दिलं होतं मॅडमनी, मॅडमच्या मम्मीनी. हे मिळून दोघेही दिलं तर मॅडम तसे चांगले आहेत. माझ्यासाठी तर चिकार चांगल्या, कधी अशा बोलल्या नाही वाईट साईड. कामाबद्दल ह्याच्याबद्दल थोडं चुकलं तर माणूस बोलतं, पण कधीच बोलले नाही. एवढे चांगले आहेत मॅडम, माझ्यासाठी तर बहुत चांगले आहेत. पहिले मी झाडू कटका असं करायचो, साफसफाई. नंतर मॅडमने मला सगळे लोकांचं जेवण, मुंबईवाले हे ते लोक येतात ना रूमवर, रूमचं जेवण खाणं सगळं मी बनवतं.
Hi, my name is Shweta. I have been working with Shabnam since 2017. When I joined her, I started with taking care of the entire Peacock Life business, the 2 stores. We didn't have a website back then. And now I think 8 years on, there's a lot that all of us in the office handle. And that's what makes each day so interesting for us, because it's not like a monotonous job wherein you come one thing, you do that day after day and you go home. There's always some spice. There's always some fun. So I think whenever the two of us are together anywhere, and it's very easy for Shabnam to introduce me because she'll say Shweta, my colleague. But when I introduce Shabnam and I call her my boss, she does not like it. She hates the term boss. And bossy she is not. Of course, there's this little bit of an aura that Shabnam has. It is very inherent to her. It's not something that she's like, putting on for the world. And the Shabnam you see is how she truly is. She is very, very transparent. She does not have any airs. She allows us to make a lot of mistakes. She is not somebody who's a micromanager. Initially also, even when I was so new to the store and the brand and all, literally she would give me direction for a week, and every week we'd meet, sit, discuss everything, what went right, what went wrong, what could be improved. And that's how the journey has been. It's been 8 years. From 2 stores, we became 3, then came Karjat. We've got this beautiful new space that we've just started. We are so excited about launching it later this month. That's the story of Peacock Life. So I think considering that Shabnam and I have known each other for so long, we work together, we travel a lot together, like we go for our sourcing trips, we go to fairs. So it's not just a typical boss relationship that we have. It goes much beyond that. She's somebody who I admire hugely. I really, really do. There's a lot that I've learned from her. I think you don't even realize, but you're subconsciously, picking things. And it's not only work related. It's also how she handles people, the way she talks to everyone. Whether it is, somebody who's a security guard or a driver and all, like, I love the way she interacts with everyone. Each of them is a person. It's just been great. I've been through some tough times, like we all have, like, in life, there are ups and downs, and Shabnam and Punish have stuck to me like a rock. I know that they are there for me, and not just in word, in spirit. They are literally standing with me shoulder to shoulder, giving me all the help. It's really not required, and it's not even expected. But I think I'm forever grateful to them for like helping me tide through these bad times whenever they've happened. A couple of years ago, we were in Delhi for work, and at the end of the day, we were staying at a very cool club called the India International Center. And end of the day, we literally, from the airport, we had hit the places we had to visit. And we came back 2 tired souls at the end of the day. And we saw that there was this lovely tea service out in the lawns. And we said, oh, wow, there's a tea service. Let's go and enjoy it. We went, we had our chai and cake and sandwiches. And then we looked around and we realized that, everyone here is so much older than us. And we are the only much younger. There was a good 3-4 decade of difference between the average age group and us. And they were giving us looks. We were really oblivious to it. We had our food. We went off to our rooms, very grateful, very happy. Our tummies full. The next day again, we came back around the same time after a day's work. And then we asked the people over there, how come there's no high tea happening over here today? And that's when they told us that it was a private event. It was not it was not a high tea service that the club had laid out. And it was so funny. We still look back and laugh over it. It was a very innocent mistake. But thank you for the food, whoever gave us. And they didn't drive us out also. I love you, Shabnam. And here's to growing old together, drinking wines together, and creating more beautiful stores together. The past 8 years have literally flown by, Shabnam, and I am hoping that the next 20, 30 years also fly the same way, and we'll grow old together, we'll travel more together, we'll make more mistakes, we'll have a lot more success, and here's to many more.
Very nice. Very nice. Really lovely. Really lovely.
How does it feel when you hear such good things about yourself?
I think it's not about reacting to the good things I'm hearing. I think it's looking
Nostalgia.
into their eyes and seeing the emotion and feeling that you've been able to work and touch so many people's lives in different ways, which is beautiful. Thank you.
So this segment was powered by Tostem Windows, framing the beauty of living. Ma'am, we have this amazing bunch of talented kids over here, and they are eagerly waiting to interact with you. Can we take a few questions from them?
Of course, absolutely.
Yes. Who's going for the first? Yes, please.
Hello ma'am, my name is Ritesh Devgarkar. I am from Vivekananda Education Society, College of Architecture, Chimbu. So my question to you is, how has your personal journey influenced your design identity?
I think everyone's personal journey influences their design and their work. For me personally, I became surer of who I am. Initially, I used to wonder if I should try to fit in, because when I started my design journey, there was this wave of minimalism that had just overtaken the entire world, not only India. And everywhere, people were just talking about whites and beiges and clean straight lines. And I'm extremely opposite of what that is. So I think you grow as a person, you become surer of who you are. You embrace yourself, your goods and your bads, and you become comfortable in your skin. And when you do that, you become very bold with your design. And I think that's what happened to me.
Thank you so much ma'am.
Thank you.
Who's going next? Yes, please.
I'm Mubashir Mullah. I'm from Vivekananda College of Architecture. My question is, how do you connect exterior architecture with interior mood in your design?
I think that's imperative that once a project is handed over, the architecture, the interiors, the landscape, all of them speak one language. And everything comes together as if it's meant to be one space. So when we look at projects, whether we've come on from the architectural stage itself and we are doing architecture and interiors, of course, then that's an easy ball game because you're controlling everything. But if we come on purely as an interior designer, we have to be able to understand what the architect was trying to do, and also take in the client brief, also take in context, and ensure that all of that falls together, including landscape, because that's as imperative.
Who's going next? Yes, please.
Hello ma'am, myself Safa Kaskar from VS College of Architecture. My question is, how do you define timeless design? Is that something you strive for?
Yes. I think today design is expensive, and I think design should outlive just being a project. I think design should be timeless, whether it's 2 decades, whether it's 2 generations. It should be able to outlive just being a creation. I think so.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next question. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Myself, Afzal Ansari from VS College of Architecture. So my question is, can you walk us through one of your favorite project and what make it special for you?
I think it's difficult to say that any designer has only one favorite projects. I think there are many favorite projects, but a very special project was when we actually did Kangana Ranawat's Manali home. It was very special because Manali is a small hill station, and we did this nearly 10 years back. And at that time, to get anything was impossible in the vicinity of Himachal Pradesh. So for us, it was a very big learning. It was a learning as to how architecture works in the mountain slopes. It was a learning as to what material needs to be used when you're designing in mountains, because mountain weather is so harsh. And then, of course, our client was this person who's a very, very strong, I would say, diva herself. So we had to also ensure that we are able to live up to her brief, where she wanted an international mountain looking home. So for us, there were many challenges on that front, and it was a great learning. And then, of course, the project turned out gorgeous. So I think that's still one of my very lovely memories in some of my projects.
Thank you. Next question, please. Yes.
Hello, ma'am. Myself, Shubham Gupta. I am from VS College of Architecture. So my question to you is, do you see the structure constraint or a canvas in your design, and why?
I never see anything as a constraint. I think challenges are great, constraints are great. I always see it as a canvas, and we are always waiting to put our artistic impression on that canvas. So I don't look at things from any perspective of constraints.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, 2 last questions before we end the interview. What's forward? What's happening next with Shabnam Gupta?
We've just finished making Peacock Life by the countryside in Karjat, where the new international airport is coming up. And now we are addicted to the countryside. So
Yes, I've seen it personally.
you have seen it, you've experienced it, so you know what I'm talking about. We want to now be one of the pioneers to make the first of its kind design hotel for people to come and actually just experience design. It's really a very unhotel hotel. And whilst we are dabbling in hospitality now, because we've tasted that, I also feel that no Indian homegrown brand which truly represents India has been able to make it to the world stage. And I am hoping that, since I think we are part of that entire revolution of contemporarizing craft and giving it a fresh lease of life, I hope through Peacock Life, we can become that brand that represents India on the world stage.
Well, I wish you good luck for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And one last question. When someone walks into your space that you have designed, how do you want them to remember you through the space?
With a smile.
Precisely to the point. Thank you, Shabnam ma'am.
Thank you so much,
So
Karan.
much for coming here.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank
Same
you
here,
so
ma'am.
much.
Ma'am, before we let you go, we would like to have a small photo opportunity with you.
Of course.
Can I have the portraits, please? Costume.
It's a lovely red frame.
Can we have a picture?
Of course.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So this segment was powered by Vox India. मेरा और शबनम जी का फोटो तो हो गया, अगर आप लोगों को भी उनके साथ कुछ पिक्चर्स खिंचाने तो आ जाओ। कम 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 कम। तो ये थी डिजाइनर शबनम गुप्ता। शबनम जी के लिए आसान होता कि वो अपने फिल्मी दुनिया में कदम रखती और अपना करियर उसी में बनाती, लेकिन उन्होंने एक बोल्ड स्टेप लिया और एक अनजानी राह पर चलती गई। आई होप कि शबनम जी की कहानी ने आप सभी को इंस्पायर किया होगा। मैं आशा करता हूं कि आज का हमारा ये एपिसोड आप सभी को पसंद आया होगा। वी वुड लाइक टू थैंक आवर टाइटल स्पॉन्सर टॉस्टेम विंडोज, आवर पावर्ड बाय स्पॉन्सर वॉक्स बिल्डिंग मटेरियल प्रोडक्ट्स एंड आवर ऑटोमेशन पार्टनर स्मार्ट नोड ऑटोमेशन। तो जल्दी मिलेंगे अगले हफ्ते किसी और नए लेजेंड की कहानी के साथ। तब तक देखते रहिए लेजेंड्स ऑफ डिजाइन। गुड नाइट, शब्बा खैर, अलविदा। दोस्तों, आज के इस सोशल मीडिया के दौर में आइए हम लेके चलते हैं आपको उस जमाने में जहां पे कम्युनिकेशन होता था लेटर्स से। स्मार्ट नोड ऑटोमेशन प्रेजेंट्स लेटर टू लेजेंड्स। आप अपने फेवरेट लेजेंड्स को इस एड्रेस पर खत लिखिए और हम इंश्योर करेंगे कि आपके लेटर्स हम आपके फेवरेट लेजेंड्स तक पहुंचा दें।